He is without a doubt widely remembered for his portrayal as the antagonist Homer Bedloe in the situation comedy Petticoat Junction. He was a mean-spirited railroad executive who periodically visited the Shady Rest Hotel while seeking justification to end the train service of the Hooterville Cannonball. But he never succeeds. Charles Lane was born Charles Levinson in January of 1905. He was a great American character actor that lived to be 100 years old, and his career spanned 72 of those years. He was one of those actors that his name wasn't known, but his slender face and crotchety persona made him recognizable to moviegoers all over the world as soon as you saw him. He had a crisp, stage-trained voice and a no-nonsense appearance. This made it perfect for him playing authority figures. He was a judge in God Is My Partner. He was a prosecutor in Call Northside 777. And he was a priest in A Date with an Angel. And don't forget, he was a member of Clark Gable's newspaper editorial board in Teacher's Pet. He made an exceptional living through character acting, but he hated the fact that he was typecast into this crotchety role. He felt like the studios never gave him a chance to do anything else because it was easier on the studio just to cast him for that type role. So the Pasadena Playhouse turned out to be his stage for variety. He was in more than 100 plays. He was first in the insurance business, and he was also dabbling in theater company productions at night. A well-known actor at the time, Irving Pitchell, advised him that he ought to start studying theater at the Pasadena Playhouse. He then got spotted by a Warner Brothers scout, and he was cast in his first movie, an Edgar G. Robinson, James Cagney melodrama called Smart Money. This was in 1931. While he was at Warner Brothers, he was a very busy guy. Sometimes he would shoot 3 and 4 pictures in one day. He would be rushed from one set to another and handed a few lines to say. His pay was about $35 a day, and the Screen Actors Guild was just being organized, and he was one of the first ones to join. In 1934, Frank Capra, then on his rise to prominence, cast him in a horse racing film called Broadway Bill. Capra loved the actor's work and included him in 9 other movies, including Mr. Smith Goes to Washington, You Can't Take It With You, and It's a Wonderful Life. He was the rent collector who shocks his boss, the evil Lionel Barrymore, by telling him that hero James Stewart's character is a good businessman. Capra wrote a note one time to Charles saying that you've been my #1 crutch over the years. This letter was a very prized possession of his. Now, Charles became really good friends with Lucille Ball when she was a chorus girl, and he was cast in RKO Musical. She went on to cast him regularly in her 1950s TV show, often as an impatient bureaucrat at odds with the bumbling Lucy. He was especially fond of a role he did on I Love Lucy, in which Lucy Ricardo gave birth to her son, little Ricky. During the time, he's in the waiting room with Desi Arnaz, who is all nerves while waiting for the expectant mother to deliver. As a fellow expectant father, he's just sitting there, the picture of calm. You see, this was his 10th child, so the nervousness had passed. And the contrast between the firstborn and the 10th born was quite different. That 1953 show attracted the biggest TV audience up to the time, and it was no doubt aided by the news that Lucy and Desi Arnaz had their own son that same night. In 1963, he appeared in the mega comedy It's a Mad, 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 Mad World. He played the airport manager. He appeared in more than 250 films and hundreds of television shows. Some of them were uncredited as well. In the years 1940 through 1942, he is recorded as having appeared in 67 parts. He continued to work into his 90s, and when he accepted an award for cable television's TV Land channel in honor of his 100th birthday, he made it a point to say that he was still available for work. He really didn't have a formula for his longevity, although his mother lived to be nearly 100. As far as alcohol was concerned, he was a lifelong teetotaler. But he did smoke a pack of cigarettes every day for 70 years. And he only quit when he became short of breath. He often stated that he knew that smoking killed people. He just felt like he must have been the exception. He was married to Ruth Covell in 1931, and they remained together for 70 years until her death in 2002. Despite his stern and hard demeanor in most of his film and television roles, his friends and acquaintances have always said that he was a warm, funny, and kind person. He continued to live in his Brentwood home that he bought with Ruth for $46,000 in 1964. Charles Lane passed away on July 9th, 2007, at the age of 102. Thank you so much, Charles, for the great characters that you gave us during your long career in Hollywood. Rest in peace. Thank you so much for watching, guys. And if you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button and the bell notification so that you get notified of new videos. Until next time, we'll keep chasing the classics.